Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really powerful story about leadership and character. It's pulled from an incredible passage in the Qur'an, and it's all about how, in a single moment of crisis, two essential qualities can completely define a person and even change their entire destiny. So, I want you to picture the prophet Moses. He has just fled Egypt, the only home he's ever known. This is a man who was raised in a palace, a prince of Egypt. And now he's a fugitive. He's totally alone, he's exhausted, and he has absolutely nothing to his name as he wanders into the unknown desert of Midian. Okay, so here's what's so amazing. In this moment of complete and utter desperation, what's his first instinct? It's not anger, it's not despair. It's this quiet, simple prayer for guidance. This one line tells you everything you need to know about his faith. It's this deep-seated trust that even when you're lost in the middle of nowhere, there's a right path and a higher power to guide you to it. And wouldn't you know it, that path leads him straight to a well. Now, this isn't just a place to get a drink of water, oh no. This is a stage. This is where his character is about to be put on full display, a test, right in front of the whole community. We're about to see what he's really made of. So as Moses gets closer, he sees the scene. It's bustling. You've got these strong, powerful shepherds watering their huge flocks. But then, off to the side, he spots two women. They also have their flock, but they can't get anywhere near the water. The social rule here is pretty clear. They just have to wait their turn, which means waiting until all the men are completely done. Now, you have to remember who we're talking about. This is a fugitive who hasn't eaten, hasn't had a safe place to sleep. His own needs are just screaming at him. And yet, seeing this small, quiet injustice, seeing these two strangers in a tough spot, he doesn't even hesitate. He puts their needs completely ahead of his own and steps right up to help them. And what he does next, this just perfectly shows his humility. After doing this good deed, he doesn't hang around waiting for a thank you. He doesn't expect any kind of reward. He just quietly walks back to the shade, turns back to God, and says, "My Lord, whatever good you send me, I'm in need of it." He gives, and then he immediately asks, recognizing that he himself is poor and that any good he has comes from God. It's just, wow. So that one selfless act, followed by that incredibly humble prayer, becomes the trigger for everything that follows. His character was just tested, and he passed with flying colors. And now, that virtue is about to be rewarded in a way he never could have imagined. So he's just sitting there, right, expecting absolutely nothing. And then he sees one of the women he just helped, and she's walking back towards him. The text makes a point to say she's walking shyly, which speaks to her modesty and respect. You can almost feel the quiet dignity of this moment, the sense that something important is about to happen. And boom, there it is, the turning point. She delivers this message that is going to completely change his fate. In an instant, he goes from being a nameless, hunted fugitive to an honored guest, invited into a home to be rewarded for his simple act of kindness. So he goes with her, and inside he meets their father, the elder prophet Shuaib. And Moses tells him his whole story, the fear, running from Egypt, everything. And this wise old man just looks at him and says, "Don't be afraid. You've escaped from the wrongdoers." Can you just imagine the relief? For the first time since he fled, Moses is finally safe. He's found a sanctuary. But wait, the story is far from over, because what happened at that well, it wasn't just a random act of kindness. It was basically an impromptu job interview. And this moment builds into this incredibly powerful lesson on the anatomy of what makes a real leader. It's one of the daughters who speaks up and makes a recommendation to her father. She says simply, "Hire him." But it's the reason she gives that is echoed through time as this perfect definition of a valuable person. The best person you can possibly hire, she says, is someone who is al-Qawi, the strong, and al-Amin, the trustworthy. Just stop and think about that for a second. Why on earth would they immediately trust a complete stranger, a fugitive no less, with a really important job? Well, the answer is right there in what he did at the well. He provided all the evidence they needed for those two exact qualities. So let's break this down because it's so brilliant. On one hand, you have al-Qawi, the strong. This is all about his competence. He clearly had the physical strength and the know-how to get that water and handle the animals, a job all those other shepherds were still busy doing. He got the job done. But that's only half of it. He was also al-Amin, the trustworthy,
And that's all about his character. He helped for no reason, expecting nothing, and he acted with respect. He had power, sure, but he used it for good. So when we talk about being strong here, we're not just talking about biceps, right? It's about being capable. It's having the skills, the knowledge, the full package required to actually do the job you're being asked to do. Bottom line, are you competent? And being trustworthy, or al-amin, well, that's the moral compass that directs all that strength. It's so much more than just being honest. It's about a deep, unshakable integrity. It's the quality that guarantees that all that competence and power won't be abused, that it won't be used for selfish reasons. The other bottom line, can you be trusted? And when you put those two things together, you get a timeless code for leadership. It's just as relevant today in a corporate boardroom or a political campaign as it was at a desert well thousands of years ago. And here's the key takeaway. You absolutely need both. They have to exist together. Someone who is super competent but has zero integrity, that's a dangerous person. Think of a brilliant but totally corrupt leader. On the flip side, someone with all the integrity in the world but no competence, well, they're just ineffective. They mean well, but they can't get anything done. Real, effective leadership happens right at the intersection of these two things. Strength gets the job done, trustworthiness makes sure it's done right. So that leaves us with a final question, something for you to think about. When you look around at your world, your job, your community, the leaders you see, which of these two qualities do you think is harder to find? A person who is strong and competent, or a person who is truly deeply trustworthy? The answer, I think, says a whole lot about the challenges we're all facing and the kind of people we really need.